Welcome back, everybody, to the Warlord of SBAS plays Torment, Numenera, episode 78. Last time we did a little more exploring of the Bloom, talked to the explorer of the Bloom, and then we gave a guy a job. So I decided we're gonna go ahead and talk to the Memvora, because I think that's something we should do. This guy has a name, so let's talk to him. Ruska. This one, oh. That's a woman? Okay. This woman's face is lined with worry, though her thick, bold build suggests that she could snap a spear in two without much effort. She continually glances toward the tunnel leading out of the courtyard, as though she hopes to see somebody. She runs a hand through her short gray hair and mutters, "Gods. That's two missing. Where the hell are they?" Finally, she takes a notice of you. She wrinkles her face hard. The wrinkles on her face harden immediately. "What are you looking at?" She jets a thumb toward a massive gate behind you. Nobody gets in the fortress without permission. I can already tell you don't have it, so keep walking. You look worried about something. What's wrong? She gives you a wry grin. It's that obvious? You'd be worried too if you had two patrols go missing and you were stuck on guard duty. Yeah.
I'll remember that.
Listen, if you happen to see my missing soldiers, I'd appreciate whatever news you can give me. They'll be outfitted like me. She indicates her studded leather armor. I'd go looking for them myself, but she gives a surrender shrug, leaving her thought unfinished. Where should I start looking for your missing patrols?
I'll remember that.
Both of the patrols were tasked with collecting duties from the gangs. They're probably somewhere in the vast interior or one of the slums, but I haven't heard from them in some time. Given the nature of the Bloom, they could literally be anywhere. What can you tell me about the Memvora? She's someone you don't want to cross, like me. What can you tell me about yourself? Clementine. She furrows her brow, considering. You're the helping type, aren't you? Not my type, but harmless, I guess. I've been in the Memvora's service for years, ever since she first come into power. She's not one to mess with, let me tell you. She'll squish anyone in her way just to keep things tidy. She gets a faraway look on her eyes. At least that's how it used to be. Things are different now. The Bloom's acting strange, and even some of the gangs are getting out of control. Never crossed the Memvora. But these days, it seems there are plenty of others who shouldn't cross either. I used to think we kept the Bloom safe, but for most anyway. I should know better. Nobody's safe in here. You said the Bloom was acting strangely? Used to be the Bloom sort of favored us because we worked for the Memvora. She seemed to predict things it would do or new maws that would open. But now, it's dangerous for us to go too deep. Also, the Bloom itself might swallow some of us whole. That's if we can find our way in the first place. With the maws closing and shifting like they are, it's a wonder my patrols ever get back to the fortress at all. The gangs are out of control. Can you tell me something about them? Too many to tell, but I can't list a few you're likely to find nearby. There's the Murdens down where the old slave block used to be. We've tried to run them out a few times, but there always seems to be more. Can't figure out why the Bloom doesn't bother them. There's the mutants in Little Blair. Let me point out that they named a place like they're trying to make a new whatever right here. And with them as the rulers, they didn't used to give us trouble, but they've gotten bolder since the Bloom started acting up. I'm not sure which is worse or at this point. Then there's that and his bunch. They stay mostly in the slums. They're not so much a gang as they are a bunch of freeloaders, but they cause enough trouble with the other gangs that they're worth mentioning. Okay, so we'll see them in Vor later.
Go.
So I guess we do have to go this way. Just wanted to check out these guys because those kids in the what was it called? The place that was falling down near the beginning. Their dad was here, and he was a Menvorth guard. So it's just good magic.
All right, Ren.
Nothing.
We can do this.
All right. Let's continue then.
Of course.
You can explore the area. An enemy's armor changes up the damage type of your attacks with abilities or suffers to overcome it. Okay. Naturally. Alright. What's over here? Ink pot. Bloom cultist. Bloom cultist. Alright. Bloom cultist then.
Fine.
Say hi to the Bloom cultist. I'm sure this will not go wrong. This man is tall and gawkingly thin. His wiry hair looks like an explosion of metal springs atop his head. He grabs you with bright, feverish eyes that seem too large for the sockets and smiles. Even as he mentions you close to the man is scribbling words on a scrap of paper. He has fastened some sort of harness around his body. He holds a tiny writing table in the inkwell so he can continue to write as he moves about. Dozens of scrawl-covered notes are stuck to his leathery robes. There's the one who will aid the devourer. There's the one that will aid the devourer. Dematigold, I've heard rumors of one fitting your discretion. One who helps those in need. Mumbles concerning the man. Help us, brother. He tunes in a wet and breathy voice. We are extremists of the great devourer, and we beseech you your aid to right a wrong, great wrong. Extremities of the great devourer? We are those to venerate the bloom as divine and seek to become part of it, if it will have us. He pauses. We are the only ones who can see the great wrong that has been done here. What's sort of wrong? A terrible torment, he whispers, visited upon the bloom, our god. It is the work of Loxy? The measures and Miller, who dwells in that nodule of flesh. He raises his pen toward the house that sits on the other side of the platform, red and sticking and inflamed. Luxus desires to understand the bloom, to quantify its impulses. This causes pain to our god. His eyes bulge even wider, and it occurs to you that you haven't once seen him blink. The evidence is clear for all to see, in the raw and swollen flesh of Luxus' house. We have warned Luxus to stop his poking and prodding and measuring, but he will not listen. What methods are left to us? He lets the question hang into air in unspoken threat. Perhaps you can help him to change his mind. I could try to work out some kind of compromise, at least. At the word compromise, his mouth twitches. Try if you like, but blasphemers are loath to compromise. They are steep in sin.
I'll remember that.
His face brightens and he pulls a handful of scribbled papers from his pocket and shoves them into your hands. Scriptures of the great devourer, to inspire your thoughts and guide your words. Another tortured smile cuts across his face. From the pen of Inkpot, who is me. Where are all the papers on your robes? Scriptures of the great devourer. They are ever changing, in imitation of the bloom. You see, he tears one of the scrolled papers from his robe, crumples it up, and tosses it over the side of the platform. Those words are gone, forgotten, but now new ones can be added, as we like. He takes a scrolled paper from the little writing desk that is strapped to his body and spits a wad of yellow phlegm on its back, and sticks it to his robe. No, these words are part of the canon. No, I'm never changing religion. That would be annoying. Can you tell me about your beliefs? I will not speak of beliefs, he frowns, but I will tell you what is true. First, that the bloom is a god, the only true god, and all that takes place within its body is solid and real. That which exists outside the bloom is an illusion, a cruel trick of falsehood. Second, he intones, that's our goal is to become one with the bloom, to transform ourselves into living embodiment of its will, and one day to be called to its heart. You want to be called to the bloom's heart? What does that mean? His eyes glisten. When it wants us, the bloom will open a maw to our feet, or reveal a tunnel where one hadn't been before. A passage will close behind us, and we will never be seen again by human eyes. But we will follow its turnings to the heart, be one with the devourer at last, and pray to want no one ever again. Tell me about the bloom's heart? Alright, you already said that. What do you think of Memvora? When her will was one with the bloom, he revered her, but no more. He frowns. She is no Memvora. Not anymore. Not to us. Another will be found in time. Her time is done. Soon the bloom will take her as well. You think the ninth world is an illusion? I know it is. The people of the world try to tell that life is not pain. They weave illusions and call them laws to protect the weak and the poor and the ugly, the malformed. But look closer and you'll see that they lie. He spits a glob of yellow phlegm off the side of the platform. Only here in the bloom is the horror of life revealed. Without pretense, becoming one with the bloom is our only hope of salvation. How do you plan to become one with the bloom? We clothe ourselves in its flesh, feasting on its bile and viscera. If we are lucky enough to hear its voice, we empty our minds and let it govern our actions and our thoughts. His long, misshapen fingers clench out and unclench. The devourer only call us to his heart when it is one with ours. One day I will hear the bloom's voice clearly. Not these vague whispers. I must not debate. Let's talk about something else. Is it safe to drink the water from the pool? Better than safe. These fluids are the holy secretion of the great devourer. To drink them is to put your mind in communion with the bloom. He leans closer to you. Your eyes are drawn to the profusion of festering sores in his mouth. You can listen to its voice. You know what it wants, for a time at least. Okay, so don't drink the water because it's actually really bad for you, and these guys are crazy. Got it. What does this say? There's one covered papers, various threats and slurs written on them. Okay. A handful of crumpled papers covered in mess up. Mrs. Scrawl, they purport the part of the canon of the Bloom cult. Incoherent scribblings of their author, cultist name. Okay. Nothing important. It's nothing important. It's just some person's
Yes.
Bible. Let's talk to these people, or him at least. Sciencey. Look at all the things I could touch and poke. Construct. Oh, another one of those constructs. So let's talk to this guy. Loxy. The Virgilian looks much like all of its kind. Violet red skin, yellow eyes, a tall crest atop its head. This one appears to have chosen a male form for now. Oh, I didn't know they can choose. Good for them. He wears thin lenses over his eyes and some strange device that encircles his head, with weighted attachments dangling at the ends of long straps. His callous pointed fingertips are stained and his garments are unkempt and in disarray. He looks impatiently at you as you interrupt his work. His eyes snapping between you and the door. His crescent inflates with irritation. The interruptions continue. What would you have of Lux? Why do you keep looking at the door? He says, "Apologies, my friend, apologies for me. The noise and constant interruption from those outside are inconducive to proper behavior. They have been escalating their discussion toward violence.
I'll remember that.
The experiments conducted within this chamber are perhaps unlikely to gain a favor of the Bloom. Indeed, the great beast has advanced some displeasures. Its pathetic worshippers who gather out here to mock have begun seeking ways to stop me, in an effort to appease their deity." He gives you a hopeful look. I would reward anyone who can drive them off. It only shows I'm doing something worthy. True knowledge risks danger. He shrugs, but knowledge has always had its detractors. They will do what they must, as long as my work lives on. I care not. He turns his head from side to side, seeing you with both his eyes. What would you have of me? What sort of work do you do here? Look, small taste measures, understand. Though his voice is flat and you can see the pleasure in his face. Apprehension is the key of knowledge. The Bloom is a creature unlike any other. Yet, who has taken the time to study its nature? The first is the Loxu. Work done here will emulate the Bloom for those who illuminate the Bloom for those who follow. For decades have I been here. Physical structure, biological needs, behavior, mental construction, known history of the beast, history of its inhabitants. All these things have I gathered. Where does it originate? I believe a twin star holds the answer. A place of howling winds and immense gravity. Fear tells me that this creature is not yet mature. That the years will see its size increase. To what purpose? Destruction? Consumption? Ascension? I fear I will never know. Reality bends around the Bloom. Its ways twist and turn, but even where stability is assumed, the Bloom's presence resists understanding. It resists mapping. This is the importance of my work, to make secrets known, as they all may, so that all may benefit. What's the device in the middle of the room? The Bloom detests those who seek to understand it on a rational level. For some time now, it has sought my destruction. To erase all accomplished here, the device generates a multi-spectrum field that repels the Bloom's advances. Looks as lips curled, but this means only that it waits for me without. Had other devices not been available to create the food and drink I should have Paris here. Tell me about the construct in the corner. Many years ago, it came to my door. It vowed service to me if its memories and personality could be erased. I did not ask why, just so I would hope to have my own reasons respected. He rose his eyes. It now serves to protect me against those who would do me harm. Most specifically, the murders and the cultists. Almost the construct with an unease you can practically taste. Automaton in the corner. Is there an easy way to deactivate it or something like that? I like it. He guards you flatly in both eyes, turning his head this way and that, unless he speaks. With the Bloom's followers outside my door, the risk of transmission of the information to potential dangerous parties is unacceptable. You will not have the answer. That's fair. What do you think would make the Bloom cultists leave you alone? Defeating them with reasoned arguments would be difficult. The Virgilian appears to consider. I present no danger to them, not like you. A threat of force might persuade them, but I believe they'll tell the truth about. They tell the truth about enjoying the Bloom's favor. To oppose them is to draw its ire. Anything willing to sell? He looks around at his Galauder's desk. I do not anticipate a need for those devices any longer. Perhaps they can serve you. Healing, always good. Burned one training level. Concentration. Heavy range weapon. 10 energy, 8 physical. Cloak. Current one plus 2 resistance. I like that more than Evasion willpower. Blue. I already have that, so I don't need that. Healing, healing, healing. Light range weapon, 10 mental damage. Interesting. What about this one? This physical. That's 20 cipher. Artifact plus 4 resistance. Plus 4 armor. Attack, 15 evasion, 15 willpower. Minus 18 initiative. No. Psychic focus. Huh. Buy the healing. Don't really need it right now. Plenty of healing, I think. Oh, I could probably do with some more healing. So I'll take some of these. Yeah, I'll take 2. I'll help me. I'll be more lively. So the question is, should I, what should I do? Should I piss off the Bloom or this guy? That's tough decision, really. I don't want to piss off either of them, really.
Of course.
Let's check out the things I can look at in this room first. Papers list scattered horizontally across the desk. Small knowledge cubes, gleam, finger-sized implants cast precision of glowing glyphs, and other media lie scattered throughout the mess. Examine the notes and recording device. As you reach out to examine the objects in the desk, the Virgilian barks, "Careful! Much time has been invested in this work. In And I recall where I placed each bit of data. Replace where you found each item. Alright, continue. As you shuffle through the Virgilian notes on paper, scribble on a dried bloom flash, dictate into talking data cubes and recorded in more exotic storage devices. You realize the sheer volume of information he has collected. It is a trove of arcane technical and observation of the bloom. Loosely organized into a number of categories: behavior, self-others; communication, self-others; influence and influenced by the mods; how to open, how to close, how to divert; history, unrecorded and recorded; observation, conclusions. Every data point leads to a reference to it in another document. Some of these links are simple notes guessing where the data is located based on the Virgilian's recollection. If you knew where to start analyzing his enormous collection of knowledge, you might be able to get somewhere. But the volume of information is simply staggering. A team at Aeon couldn't process this much data in a year. For a lone scholar, it would likely take 10 years or more. The Virgilian has stopped glancing over as you shuffle through his notes. Instead, he is staring at you, waiting and watching. It becomes difficult to concentrate under his steady gaze as you put the notes down and stop away from the table. Huh. Not really useful.
All right.
I don't think I can really do anything. Let's talk to the construct. Hello? Hello? Barbs and blades cover the surface of the hulking metal construct. Its scalpel skin... Skin looks like a suit of intricate armor. The joints are able to bend in direction impossible for a human. Though the construct is immobile, something in the design sparks a vision of I think they're supposed to say vision, but whatever. Of involuntary dread within you, as if it were a predator regarding you. The design of the construct is remarkably reminiscent of that of what waits for prey. The construct you saw in Memvor's courtyard. Although it looks similar to wait for prey, you can hear something of its thoughts, as though it were an empty shell. Who are you? You continue to stare passively ahead, and knowing your attempt to converse, it weren't for the faint hum from within the chest, you would question whether it's even functioning. Why don't you speak to me? Remain silent. What are you? Tell me about yourself. Hello? Examine the construct. It's all free. And if I do one more, boom. Success. The construct doesn't seem to mind your prodding and poking. Indeed, it doesn't react at all. By the time you're finished, you are reasonably certain that while it maintains basic locomotive and processing functions, and mine has been utterly erased. It truly is an automaton, now lacking any sort of free will. Some of its weapon systems have also been deactivated, though its killing blades are deadly as ever. Alright, can't do anything more. I'm going to end the episode here, and next time we're going to decide what we should do. Probably looking at this device first. So next time, until next time, remember, brace the chaos, so you go, man. Bye.